Hey friends, it's Miss Jennifer. Welcome to Fairy Tale STEAM, where we talk about a different fairy tale each week and issue an engineering challenge based on that fairy tale. Now this week's fairy tale I'm sure you're all very familiar with, and that is The Three Little Pigs. I know you know this story, right? Three little pigs go off into the world on their own and they decide to build their own houses, and each pig chooses a different material to build his or her house out of. And some of them work a little bit better than others as far as a house goes, and especially when it comes to protecting them from the big bad wolf. Now, in traditional tales, usually the first pig will build his or her house out of straw, the second pig will build his or her house out of sticks, and then the last pig, the smart pig, will build his or her house out of bricks. And of course, I'm sure you can guess whose house they all run to when the big bad wolf comes knocking. Now, the version of The Three Little Pigs that I want to talk to you about today is a little bit different than some of the tales you might have heard. It's called The Three Little Gators, and it was written by Helen Ketterman and illustrated by Will Terry. And it is actually set in a swamp in Texas. And of course, instead of being three little pigs striking out on their own, we have three little gators venturing out into the big wide world. And they decide to build their houses out of some interesting materials. Now, in this tale, the first gator is actually the smart gator, and he's the one that decides he's gonna build his house out of rocks. Then his brothers decide they're gonna build their houses out of sticks and sand. And instead of defending themselves against the big bad wolf, who huffs and puffs and blows the houses down, they have to contend with the big-bottomed boar, who, as you might have guessed, says he's going to wiggle his rump with a bump, bump, bump and smash their houses. Now, which of the gators' houses will withstand the big-bottomed boar? You'll have to check this one out to find out. Now, my challenge to you this week is to build your own versions of the Three Little Pigs or the Three Little Gators' houses. Now, for my three houses, I knew I wanted three very different materials, different in size and weight and composition, so that I'd have three very different houses. And I chose for my first pig's house to use straws, but not the kind of straw that you normally associate with the first little pig, which is more like hay. I used plastic drinking straws, and I used my favorite adhesive to stick those straws together, masking tape. Now, you can use whatever you want for your pig's houses, but I'll share with you what I used for mine and how it went, and then you can go from there. So for the first pig's house, we used plastic drinking straws. For the second pig's house, I used my trusty friend, the popsicle stick. Remember those from the raft last time? And I also stuck them together with tape. Now, I made the second pig's house a little bit shorter because I wanted to play with how height might affect whether or not it could withstand the blow from the big bad wolf as well. And finally, for the third pig's house, I used our old faithful Lego bricks. Not exactly the kind of bricks that the third pig usually uses, but close enough for what we are testing. Now, remember my three Billy Goats Gruff stand-ins from last time? Well, they were my three little pigs this time. So I put one in each house. And then, to test whether or not the house could withstand a blow from the big bad wolf, we have a handy dandy fan in our meeting room where we are doing curbside pickup right now, and it helps keep us cool on those really hot days, but it's also a great stand-in for the big bad wolf. So I put my three little pigs' houses in front of that fan, and I turned it up to different speeds to see how well they would withstand. Now, as you can see, my straw house didn't last very long at all. My popsicle stick house scooted a little bit when the fan first came on, but then it stayed there and it held up pretty well. My Lego house did not move. So all in all, I think my three little pigs' houses were fairly successful. I could probably go back and tweak the straw house and either change the height or maybe add more to it to make it withstand the big bad wolf's blows. That's my challenge for you this week. I want you to design 3 different houses for your 3 little pigs out of 3 different materials. Whatever materials you choose, you can stick them together however you want. You can make them as big or as small as you want. It's up to you. Get creative with it. And then you have to test the integrity of your house by either putting it in front of something like a fan or maybe a hair dryer, something that will give it a good gust of wind to see if it can hold up. And don't forget, once you've finished your houses, be sure to send us pictures and videos. You can do that by either emailing them to us at summerreading@jcpl.org or sending them to us on Instagram and Facebook at Johnson City Public Library. I can't wait to see what you build. And while you're at it, don't forget to sign up for summer reading if you haven't already. It's not too late. Go to www.jcpl.org and click on the summer reading portal to get started. If you have any questions, you can always give us a call at the library. I hope you'll look out for next week's challenge, but for now, it's full steam ahead on this week's. See you soon. Bye-bye.